let's see what do we have, right? All right, just trying to get this. So just thinking, okay, so you're probably thinking, okay, how do I get ahead from a setback, or how do I deal with maybe bad news, right? How do I deal with news that might be unpleasant, right? Um, um, First is like, well, is it really bad news, right? Is it really unpleasant like you think of it, or because in the moment it feels like it, right? So how about this? Let's talk about what you shouldn't do while you are going through this so-called bad news, right? It could be maybe you got laid off. It could be maybe you don't have enough money. It could be you're stressed. It could be a family member is sick. It could be any of this. We have all of these things happens in life, and sometimes we cannot help it. We can't control it. But how do you react? Because that's what matters, right? Um, but before we jump into it, my name is Ugo. I kind of like think about things from a different perspective, and not the popular opinion. So a lot of times, people might disagree with the things I say, and that's fine. I'm not here to have people do or think the way I think. This is it's just my opinion. When I think things through, I figure exactly which way makes sense to me, and just which way So you're free to disagree with it. That's fine. But how do you react when you have setbacks, right? When things happen and it didn't go the way you wanted to. It didn't go the way you planned for it to go, right? It could be anything, right? So how about the things you shouldn't do first, right? So when we have bad news, right? I think the first thing you shouldn't do is share it with everyone, right? And when I mean everyone, it's like don't share a news with somebody that cannot handle it, right? Or that it's not going to be helpful about it, right? So meaning don't share with someone that is fearful themselves, right? A fearful person is only going to make you more fearful, and they don't mean harm or anything like that. They don't mean there's no malice there. It's just the way they reacted then. So if you have a bad news like, oh, my car broke down and this and that, and the dealership is trying to retrieve the car back from me. If you take that news and you tell it to somebody that doesn't feel strong within themselves, they're gonna their reaction is gonna make you even more in a stressful situation. So we want to avoid doing that. You don't want to share your news with that, right? What you want to do is you want to share it with the opposite person, with someone that is feeling very well, feeling very good. Maybe someone that might have lived through that situation, might have gone through those same things, and that person is usually a person that can help you. With feeling confident. With feeling good about yourself, because a lot of times when you feel when we in this moment is so called tough situation, or bad news, or just setbacks, what you need is confidence. What you need is confidence. You need someone to back you into it, and like, wait a second. It's not as bad as you seem to make it. Yeah, the car is repossessed, is this, but there's always alternative, right? So we need somebody that will give us possibilities, right? Like just open our minds away from just this fear that we're in, because it's not serving. um and it happens all the time. Another thing I would do is not I would not I would not be quick to make a decision. I will sit with it. I will think it through. I'll figure out, what my best steps might be. Maybe call those people, It could be as simple as that. Hey, my car is down, and I'm late on the payment, and I'm just wondering, how can I go about it? And then you just, a brief question. You ask them this very brief question, and they take it from there. And you'll be surprised at their response. They might tell you, you know what, we have a plan. We have a payment plan that you can use, or you know what, we have a program that can help you, that can assist you, or we have an alternative where you can bring back the vehicle, and we can give you, so there's always options. There's always options. Anybody that tells you that you don't have options is lying to you. There's always options in what you do and in whatever situation we find ourselves. So, um, yeah, there's being fearful is not going to help. You want to react confidently, which is, stay calm, um, you know, stay courageous, and then take action. There's always action. When you stand still, you're not able to you're not able to make progress. You have to, take action. You have to take steps. um, um, just it happens all the time. Happens all the time.